We're live. We're live? We're live. I don't know why I feel the need to commercialize every waking moment of my life, but I do. So, we're going to commercialize my sort of after work rest time. Hi, Caitlin, if you're watching this. You're probably the only one. This one goes out to you. You're the best. Oh, you're messaging me on a messaging app. Well, I'll respond to you in the VOD, I suppose, and then when you watch the VOD, you'll get my reply. So yes, Caitlin, the lab was good. It was quite good. It was quite productive. I got quite a lot done. I took a lot of photos of wasps. My supervisor isn't in, as you know, Caitlin, but for the audience, wasn't in until next week. Wasn't in today and isn't in until next week. So I'm just kind of going over old traps and taking photos, but I got some real good photos, which I will unveil if we catch any new Pokemon today that need a new name of a new wasp. So I fixed my UI so I don't run into the problem that I was repeatedly running into where I'd open up Showdown and it would break because I would put it over the top of the game and then I'd be like, why can no one see what I'm doing? And that's obviously miserable for everyone except for me. So I've got Showdown in a little page over here where we can look at the stats and stuff of our team. Right now, I'm feeling a bit dubious about Baeus. Baeus is timid, but a physical attacker, and it's just a normal type. It's not very exciting. We've just got Baby Yoshi, who's like a far superior normal type, and I would rather have Baby Yoshi on my team. I'm also feeling a bit dubious about Trichopria for the exact same reason. It's a physical attacker with a timid nature, which I do not appreciate. So we'll see how the day plays out. But for now, it's my best bet. The only other Pokemon that I've got that I'm not using is Goomba, but Goomba is truly dreadful, so I won't be using Goomba. I'll be using powerhouses like Monty Mole instead, the Uber tier threat. It's Uber because of Arena Trap, it's not actually good. And that's the first trainer. So I have a few things, on the brain to discuss. What the heck? I was like, I've never seen that Pokemon before. It's freaky. What type do we think that is? Pokey. Like a rock bug type, maybe? I'm a bug type. I don't really want to stand against a rock type, if it is indeed a rock type. So I want to go to Mr. Mole, Entomachus, the hero of today's video. Barrage. Barrage is like Fury Swipes, right? It's going to hit 2 to 5 times. That move is one of the rarest moves ever. Okay, now we get to find out some type information. It resists, so it's not a rock type. It resists ground. Maybe it's probably a bug type then. It's bug or grass, or bug grass. Okay, and not rock. Well, in that case, we can go back to Trichopria. Yeah, I know, we're losing the Sand Tomb chip, but, sue me. I'm tired. I've been at work all day. I was like, I can't be bothered getting up because it's so warm in bed and so tiring to go to work because the trains have been destroyed. Please be a bug ground type. Okay, I think you're just a bug type. You resist ground, bug grass, you're neutral to water. You're not a grass type. You're a bug type. I'm going into Idris. I've decided you're not a ground type. Or a rock type. Even though you look kind of ground and rocky. And we're going to click roll out. And if he did have some kind of super effective move against me, then I would regret it because I'm now locked in. It's weird having a Geodude that isn't a ground type because I don't have to worry so much about the 4 times weakness to water and grass. Okay, he resists rock. I think I'm just a fool it should be obvious what type he is. We've got enough information to figure out what type he is. He resists rock and ground. And he's neutral to water. Resists rock and ground. He's neutral to water. I can just sit here in the thinking phase. What resists rock? Ground, but that's weak to water. Steel, but that's weak to ground. Rock, steel. Aren't ground and rock like really hard to resist? It should be like a grass fighting type. But he's not a grass fighting type because he's neutral to water. I don't know what the heck is going on with that thing. I'm sure it's really obvious and it's staring me in the face, but it's dead and I didn't figure it out. So we'll have to wait till a later date to crack that mystery. Bandit. No, we can take Bandit with our powered up rollout, I reckon. Oh, okay. He's going to covet. We're not afraid of a covet. Man, rock types are so good in the early game. Shout out to early game rock types. You guys are champions. Geodude is like... It's really funny nuzlocking Heart Gold and Soul Silver, because it turns out that Geodude solo is like the first 4 gems by itself. And if you get a Geodude, you don't actually need to worry about... Like, Whitney is like scary in theory, but in practice loses to Graveler, so... Oh, man, it's weird, because usually I would just edit that out. Like, if this was a video, I would just jump cut. But there's no jump cutting. It's only honest to goodness disappearing just off the screen for no reason. Which, you know, feels kind of good sometimes. A Spiny. Hello, Spiny. Have I seen something like you? No, I've seen that, the blue guy, the dark type guy. But you're different. I don't need you right now. Alright, how did I get in here like this? I want to leave. Let me out of here. Another Spiny. This is the big news story of the day, really. I just had to go talk to my mum because an entomologist has been murdered in my city. It was a couple of days ago. I found out yesterday. But they're like... I didn't know them personally, but I knew their supervisor, and they are decently closely associated with me, but not a direct colleague. And I, as far as I know, hadn't met them. But pretty extreme stuff. Just murdered on the street, and it's been less than a year since Stephen Thorpe, another entomologist who was, I'm kind of working in this space where I'm standing on the shoulders of Stephen Thorpe's work a lot of the time, especially these photos I'm uploading to iNaturalist are photos that a lot of the bugs that I'm taking photos of, the only person besides me to have photographed them and uploaded them to the website was Stephen Thorpe. So it's pretty... Oh, I could have just healed at the experimental healing building. It was terribly sad when he was just murdered, and now a second entomologist has just been murdered, and so it's like, is there like some kind of, it's like serial killer out to get me, like someone who hates people who like bugs, because 2 murders in less than a year, and that's suspicious and really really tragic. So yeah, pretty shocking. Where do I go from here? Down here. But you know, it's okay. Well, it's not okay for them, but I'm okay. I mean, it's they weren't. I wasn't close to them, but it's still pretty dramatic. You know, it makes you feel weird about mortality and life and this kind of stuff. Yeah, just a little too close to home. So anyway, we're talking to my mum about that, letting her know that what's going on, and for some reason, being conscious about my bullet bill. Is this what my python is going to evolve into? Maybe. No, it's only level 12. It looks like a fire flying type to me. On account of it's on fire and it's flying. So we'll test that theory. It's okay. It's not a flying type, but it does have levitate. So it may as well be a flying type. What type is it then? Fire steel with levitate. That would make sense. Fire steel with levitate sounds insane. Hang on. His only weakness would be fighting. No, and water. It's like a Heatran with levitate. Heatran would love levitate. But it should hopefully be weak to water. And if all it's going to do is click supersonic and miss, then we'll be okay. Okay. It's not a... Whoa. Maybe it's... Now I'm confused. It's not weak to fire, which means... I mean, it's not weak to water, which means it's either not a fire type, or its secondary type is something that... It's a steel type. I think I'm going to die. Idris, no. Oh, shoot. I clicked the wrong move, which is going to save me. Because I'm not locked into rapid spin like I thought I was. Okay, and so we know it's a steel type. Let's go bullet punch, aerial ace. So Python actually looks pretty good. We'll see, I guess, whether it's weak to fire. It might just be a steel type with levitate. We'll see. If it's not weak to this, then its secondary type is pretty limited. Okay, good. That thing's a little bit scary. Levitate's good on a steel, though. Good on any steel. Da-da-da-da. Anyway, I was talking about death, right? Death? Yeah, death. It makes me want to start streaming because it feels like... I don't know. I don't know why it's psychologically different from just... We're definitely going to become an electric type. Am I ever going to use charge? I can't. I'm not... Self-destruct is funny, but it's not better than an actually usable move. I feel compelled to like put these moments of myself out there so that there's something immortal in case I get killed by the entomological serial killer who's running around my town. And streaming feels different to like recording and uploading a video. I know it isn't really, but you know, it's live, it's a bit lower stress. The main reason I'm doing it is because it goes in a different tab on the YouTube site so that if people who aren't interested in watching these like low effort streams can skip them and get the good content. But yeah, it feels like a kind of fake legacy. Whether or not that means anything at all is up to you. Yeah, so that's one piece of news that happened is a, a colleague, well, like a colleague twice removed, has been killed. The other thing that happened is I found out that... Okay, so there's a book called Worm. It's like an online web novel by... Oh, okay. Pause the worm talk. I'll get back to it. Let's watch Python evolve. What's he going to become? A bigger bomb? A triple bomb? A bomb with more bombs? Okay, sure. A bomb with hands? A chukya? I will accept a chukya. We're not a electrical type at all. We're a fighting type. I think I'd rather have low sweep than vital throw. Okay, a chukya. That is not what I was expecting, because I don't know anything about Mario. What a prank. It's a firefighting type starter. Everyone knows how much we are in desperate need of firefighting starter Pokemon. Should we see how he's improved over in the builder? So here's Bob-omb. Really weird stats. A lot of HP, decent attack, and then just pitiful defenses and speed. If we upgrade him to a Chukya. Oh my lord. We're certainly following the same thing. 150 base HP on a middle stage. This thing sounds hilarious with a Violite like that. That would probably be really bulky. But we don't have a Violite. But 100 base attack is usable. 420 BST, I think that's pretty standard for a middle stage. I will take it. Welcome to the team, Chukya. We're minus speed, but I don't think that matters that much. We're slow anyway. The speed F is nice. What's its fancy ability? Still Aftermath. Okay, well, I don't intend to have Python dying on me, so I probably won't get much use out of Aftermath. Hello, sign. Fire a bullet bill at it. Do you think if I... Abel got into a fight with one of the cats of the neighborhood, Junior, which is not appreciated. But he's got to defend his territory, so I suppose I can't judge him too harshly. I'd rather him be fighting with Junior, who doesn't live here, than with one of the cats from the house who actually does live here. I was wondering if we can, like, walk in front of a bullet bill. Change directions. Oh. Can we get hit? If we get hit by one, will it let us catch it? Should we try? I'm a genius. I'm a genius. We figured it out. Okay. Bullet. So it's a steel type. We want to go to our new and improved Python. I would quite like a steel type with levitate. That sounds really nice for my team. Finally hit the supersonic after 6,000 tries. I think we'll take off Cooper Trooper for this. Good job, Python. 100 base attack is nothing to sneeze at. So anyway, before the cat fight, I was going to talk about Worm. If you've been following particular news, you'll know where this is going. But Worm is a great book series. I don't know if it's a series. It's like 31 parts. So it's kind of like 31 books, or it's kind of like one book with 1.5 million words. Oh, okay. I got absolutely nowhere in my tangent before I needed to return to Earth. We need to find a new wasp. And let's have a look if there's any that I found today that we can use, that I actually know the names of. I could use this guy. Oh yeah, he's got like bullet bill energy. That sounds good. I've got to download this. The wasps are a critical part of the live stream experience. Without the wasps, why would anyone keep on going? I am going to name Bullet Bill Athaireta. I presume it's pronounced Athaireta or Athaireta. Athaireta. Athaireta? Like not, it's Latin, right? Athaireta. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this creature that we have summoned. There we go. Okay, Bullet Bill. It is, in fact, a mono steel type. It's another timid special attacker, timid physical attacker. I'm cursed with this fate. Mono steel, levitate, timid. Sounds all right. Let's have a look at it over here too. Bullet Bill. Abel. Yeah, hi. Have you been fighting? Yeah, you okay? You have a fight with Junior? Did you win the fight? You certainly did your best. Yeah. You really tried. Second ability, sheer force, but I'm quite happy with levitate. Okay, cool. Just like a levitating steel. It's fast. It's fast, and it's got terrible base HP. So, oh, and terrible base special defense. Don't send this guy in against special attackers. Noted. But I think I will put it on instead of Trooper. Sorry, Baeus. So, goodbye for now, Baeus. And hello. Afereta. There it is. Now this guy is pretty crazy. So I took this photo today, just a few hours ago, and it is a braconid wasp. And you can see it's quite different to a lot of these other little guys. It's decently big. It's maybe 2.5, 3 millimeters long, which, I mean, sounds tiny, but is kind of massive compared to the wasps I'm used to looking at. This guy, Python, is the exception. He's like proper big. He's like, and this is probably to scale. That's probably to scale. But this guy is pretty big, and he's an, I think it's Alician. I think it's family Aliciinidae. Aliciinidae. He's an Aliciinidae parasitoid wasp, and his feature is he's got these crazy mandibles. So you can see them if you look at the mouth. If I zoom in on the mouth, you can see there's like the eye, and there's these kind of like spiky bits at the bottom. Those are two. You've got like the one tooth that you can see, and then there's another one at the back. They're two teeth, like on either side of the mouth, and they crunch inwards like this, and then you can see the drooping feeding bits below. They've got these exposed inwards pointing mandibles. Crazy. And what they're for is for chomping through a fly cocoon. So flies, like butterflies, will have molting events. You know, they start off as a little maggot, and then they go into a cocoon, a pupa, and then they finish their metamorphosis and they become an adult fly. His teeth are for chomping through a fly cocoon from the inside out, because their life cycle is they use their ovipositor, which is this long like sting thing at the back, to inject eggs into fly larvae, like maggots. And so they inject the eggs into the maggots, and the maggots stay alive with the smaller, basically, maggots of this guy inside of them, eating them. And then when the fly maggots pupate, so they're trying to turn into an adult fly, the maggots of this guy will let the fly maggot make the pupa and sort of turn itself into mush and start metamorphosizing. And then it will kill the fly pupa and then use the pupa itself to do its metamorphosis. And then it will hatch from the fly pupa instead of a fly. But it needs a way to get out of the pupa that it's inside, because it's not its own pupa. It's not like made of its body. It's like a foreign pupa. And so it needs these crazy mouth parts to chew out, which is a highly cursed way of living. But I'm not here to judge the Alician braconid wasps. They are pretty cool looking, and we're putting them on the team. I was pretty pleased to find that guy today. I'd actually found one a while back. I've got a couple, but I didn't know what they were. I didn't have the slightest clue. And when I found the document that was like, they've got these crazy mandibles that point inwards, I was like, I know what this is. And I checked iNaturalist, and someone had ID'd my old one as being... Can I push this? Probably not, right? Remember that's there. Someone ID'd it as being an Alician wasp. And it was. And so now I know. This one in particular is genus Afereta, and then species Altea. So it's a New Zealand native version, but there are also introduced Afaireta here. I think I've got a couple of different Afaireta in my traps, but I haven't properly ID'd them all. Anyway, pretty cool wasp. The life cycles of these things are absolutely ridiculous sometimes. Am I safe to find another trainer, or do we need to go heal? I say, when in doubt, trust in the mole. Do we trust in the mole? I trust in the mole. They've got a spiny. Okay. I don't think we know what type this is. I don't think we know what type it is. It's weak to ground. Maybe a rock type? Rock would make sense if it's going to be like withdrawing. Sandtim's a pretty weak move to the most damage. Could be rock steel and it's quadruple effective. Maybe it is rock steel. Well, I'm very well equipped to defeat Spiny. I guess I should be switch training my Baby Yoshi a bit. I do need to show Baby Yoshi some care, but I'm scared of the trainers. I'd rather not risk it. Buzzy B. I should pin set mode on. I don't like switch mode. It feels unfair. Ah, that's a dark type. I know that's a dark type. We fought it the other day. Do I have anything to do with dark types? No. Oh yes, I've got a fighting type now. I can deal with dark types no problem. Joke's on you. Oh, he got the Metal Claw boost. Watch out, guys. He got the Metal Claw boost. And then he died. Yeah, so there was that guy, there was some other wasps. Tiring day, and then I decided, of course, to go straight into something else where I need to be socially engaged. But this, I kind of take as like a diary, you know, it's mostly me talking to myself. I don't have the stream chat up, so if there is anyone here, I can't see what you're saying. Sorry, this is... Have you guys ever sat in like a lecture on scientific communication and learnt about the different models of communication? I find it a bit annoying. I feel like scientists need to make models of everything, you know? They have to like break things down into bits and describe the different ways of viewing things. But even oops, I didn't mean to do that. Even the most complicated models that you talk about are like absolutely nothing like how actual communication works. And given that like you're explaining the models with a higher form of communication, I don't know, it seems a little bit futile somehow. But it is important to... Right, I see. It is important to, I guess, understand what you're doing. Anyway, they talk about the difference between, like, knowledge deficit communication and, I don't know, back and forth communication. The idea of knowledge deficit is there's one person with knowledge and there's another person without knowledge, and the goal is to get the knowledge to the other person. And the point that the science communicator will try to make is that the world doesn't operate on a knowledge deficit basis. Scientists aren't just like automatically right because they have particular knowledge, because what they don't usually have is context and also values or like reasons to care about about any given thing. And so the scientists are just going to come in and like state what's true and then leave as if it there's anything to do about it without a value system underpinning it. Then they're never going to make any progress, which wouldn't be their goal if they were trying to do that. But you get a lot of the time scientists who do have the goal of communicating with audiences and building public engagement still acting as though the public is just there to kind of receive their wisdom without question or opinion, and that's a bit miserable. So Anyway, we're operating on a knowledge deficit model in this stream because I don't have the chat open. If I was a good science communicator, I would have the chat open and be listening to questions, and you might be saying, but how do you know it's a wasp? And I would say, that's a good question. It's because it has a waspy waist. If you look at all these wasps, the thing that they actually have in common is this constriction around the waist. So between the kind of, we have the head, and then you have the body and like the back. In normal bugs, you have the head is the front bit, the abdomen is the middle bit, and then the thorax is the one at the back. But wasps are doing something weird where they have the front of the thorax is actually fused with the abdomen bit. So the middle segment of the wasp is like mostly abdomen with some thorax. So we say head metasoma, head mesosoma for the middle bit, and then metasoma for the end bit. And the thing that makes you a wasp is that you have this constriction between the mesosoma and the mesosoma. The metasoma and the mesosoma. Yeah, where you kind of narrow down to a point. That's diagnostic of a wasp. And you might say, hang on, don't ants have that? Yes, ants are wasps, in fact. Although scientists don't like to admit it. But this guy, he's kind of like a bee. He's not a bee, he's a proboscis, but he's close to a bee. Has a constriction. Even the gryon, who looks pretty like chubby and round, does have the constriction. You can see it when you zoom in. Yeah, so that's, imaginary person. That's what makes wasp, is the constriction. But because I don't have chat on, I have no idea if that's what you're asking. You might be sort of complaining, or you might be really happy. Doesn't matter to me. I got a nugget. That's all that. That's all that I need to worry about. Okay, we're out of that maze, and now we are on to maze number 2. Town of the Clouds. Okay. Good afternoon. Oh, is Princess Daisy going to be the next gym leader? That would be interesting. I'm going to talk to every single NPC in this town, which is probably going to be real boring. But I still have a worm anecdote to get to before I end the stream. But anyway, science communication. We're doing knowledge deficit, but I repent. I confess to my crimes to any science communicators who are watching the VOD. I'm sorry. I'm deeply sorry, but I'm not going to change my ways. What's this? A pottaboo. Pottaboo. Yes. It's got pod in the name. What does a pottaboo look like? I've never heard of such a great creature in my life. It's got pod in the name. I bought it. What the heck am I looking at? I'm regretting taking the fire type starter. I think I have to take this, right? It's called pottaboo. It's actually got a good nature for once. It seems to be physical. Okay, pottaboo. Let's check you out. Magma armor, flame body. Really offensive stats. Yes, please. My team is getting worse by the day as I add more things to it. Am I going to have 2 fire types? Yeah, I am. Am I going to take off? Do you do anything interesting, Bug? Not really. Swarm's a boring ability. I was so excited to get Skeeter though. But I want the mole. I kind of want Bullet Bill for now. I want all these guys. I want Idris. But Idris seems really good. Yeah. Sorry, Skeeter. You're benched. Who are you? Trichopria. And we got a new Pokemon to name. Oh, Pottaboo needs a good name. I don't have any remaining wasps from today, but I'll dig into the archives. I wonder if Pod could be Glabradorsum. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, who we take off? Trichopria. Goodbye, Trichopria. Goodbye, Trichopria. I must have just deleted my background, my border that I put up. Oh no, is it back? I must be hallucinating. It's all good. This is Glabradorsum. You can see Glabradorsum's face on the Smogon team builder. I've imported him over there because he's that cool. But yeah, amazing. Pretty big guy. There's 2 black and white ichneumons in New Zealand. This is one of them. The other one is even bigger. It's called the lemon tree borer parasitoid. Species, well, genus name is Anthocryptis. This one is Glabradorsum stokesii, and it's an ichneumon of the subfamily Cryptinae and then the tribe Cryptini. And yeah, they go after fruit-eating moth larvae mostly. They like to hang around fruit trees because they parasitize the things that are eating the fruit. So they're quite good. If you've got like an orchard and you have fruit that you want to grow and you want to not get eaten, you can have some Glabradorsum stokesii and they'll kind of defend your tree from the bugs. It's a pretty high honor to be named Glabradorsum, but I mean this guy's natural name is Pod, so it only makes sense that we will have to call him Glabradorsum. And I am willing to drop my starter Pokemon for Podaboo because it's called Pod, so it would be fate. Glabradors. There we go. Okay. That's level 5. Cryone's level 10. My team is real underleveled. But we press on. I think I can just fight through trainers with Python for the moment. So there was a Pokemon as well? Maybe? Raise party to level cap. We won't do that yet. I want to... kind of experience the routes, honestly, and not just overlevel them. I think the game will be kind of boring if boring for me if I'm just like overleveled all of the enemy trainers. I could have put on the like trainer scale with my level and solved that problem, but Ooh, a Shuka berry. Shuka is for... I want to say it's for ground type moves, is that right? Yeah, ground. I guess Daisy's a ground type trainer. That kind of bodes terribly for me because I have 3 ground weaknesses. Labradors. Well, when I get to the gym, I can... Okay, yeah, ground type gym. Okay, sure. When I get to the gym, I can... Hello, Goomba. I sure hope they do, Mr. Goomba. I sure hope they do. Okay, I see where this is going. I see where this is going plot-wise. Ground types. I don't want to bench Potapod. And I don't want to bench my starter. Python. But maybe I do want to bench my starter? I don't want to bench it before the gym, because it's easily my strongest Pokemon right now. I guess I want Skeeter. I really want Skeeter, right? We'll put Skeeter back on if it's a ground type gym. That thing seems remarkable into... Ooh. Hello. It's Captain Toad. We have a quest. Okay, we would much like to rescue Toad if possible. Ground type. My levitator sounds really good. A TM sounds really good. Hello, spooky man. What? Pray tell. What's a TM? Razor shell. Okay, nothing can learn it. However, can Skeeter learn? Trichopria. I may have kicked you off for about 3 seconds. Potterboo sounds really bad right now. I'm coming back for you, Potterboo. You're too low level. I don't need you for the roots. I'll level you up when we get to the gym. Yeah, okay. That sounds fine. Which means we should bring back Trichopria, who was not gone very long at all. So Worm, remember Worm? I was going to talk about Worm. We've got to talk about Worm before I have to go have dinner, because it is getting kind of late. But Worm. So Worm is a great book. It's about superheroes. This is a new route. I can never fight a fly. I need to not get distracted, even though I'm getting distracted. Worm. It's about worms. No, she's got the power to control bugs. You can see why I'm into it. It's great. She can move bugs around with her mind, and she has lots of bug friends, and they do what she wants. And it's a great story. It's long, but it's worth it. The start's a bit weak. Like, it takes a little bit to get going, but once it hits its stride, it's really good. I read it all a few years ago now, maybe 2021, and then I read the sequel, Ward, and I read Twig, another book by the author, and I read half of Pale. I should finish Pale. And when I say half, I mean about 2 million words worth of Pale, because that book is ridiculously long. Fighting Flying. Pest capture. Okay, okay. Fight or fly. I guess it's in the name what type it would be. Let's have a look at our friend Fight or Fly in the team builder. Guts, thick fat, sure. Fast, weak. Okay. Do want to give it a name. A Fight or Fly. Well, there's lots of wasps that it could be. But I'm kind of thinking a diapriid, because what do diapriids do? They fight flies. But have I got a Bassalis yet? I don't think I've got a Bassalis. I think Bassalis would suit a fighter fly. I'm not actually going to put this guy on the team, but I'll show you Bassalis. He's a tiny little fellow. Looks like this. Less than 1 millimeter long. The smallest of the diapriids that I'm finding. Got this funny squished face. These So when you have a wasp with an antenna like this, where it's got the lots of little bits, and then the big fat end. The fat end is called the club, and they have this 3-lobed club, the Bassalis. Only the females. Clubbing is typically a sex differential, where the females will have clubbing and the males will have sometimes other crazy modifications. So like this Trichopria here has the bristles, and that is a male. The females don't have the bristles. In fact, today I did find a wasp that I think was actually a female Trichopria, but I had it labeled as just Diapriid O because I didn't know that's what female Trichopria looked like. So I think I have tracked Trichopria. This is a male Bassalis. You can see it's got that same small little head, and it's pretty tiny, pretty small, but pretty cute. And so I think it's a perfect fit for Fighter Fly. But I'm not actually going to put Fighter Fly on the team, so we don't need to put him on the permanent overlay. But Worm, yeah, so in Worm, there are these guys called the Endbringers. I'll try not to spoil anything major, but I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say. There are these guys called the Endbringers, and they're like big, scary monsters that are kind of ending civilization. And one of them is called the Simurg, or the Simurg or something. And she's pretty scary, and probably saying what her power does in too much detail is a spoiler. But anyway, she's called the Simurg, and that's all well and good. Um, and I found out today from my mum. She was like, I've been listening to this podcast, and they've told me that there's a death cult that comes from Worm. And I was like, what do you mean there's a death cult that comes from Worm? She was like, yeah, they're called the Zizians, and they've killed like 6 people. And I was like, what do you mean? There's a death cult. I couldn't really believe it. But Ziz is like another name for the Simurg. She's, without saying exactly what her power does, she's kind of like a manipulator. Like she like sets events in motion, and then like ages later they come to pass, and they like soothe her wicked, suit her wicked ends. And so this person has, and one of the Simurg's alter egos, other names is Ziz. Both Ziz and Simurg are just names of like, I think Abrahamic. Well, I think Ziz is like an Abrahamic bird person, like a mythical bird lady. I wanna. Oh no! I just got robbed of 1,500 coins. That's fine. Do I need coins for anything? Not really. I've already bought my Pookaboo. So there's a worm death cult. It's also based on. It comes out of this like internet 2014 rationalism movement, which, you know, as someone who was 14 in 2014, I was kind of like seeing a lot of. And so you have this like nexus of like these like logical, this kind of like new atheist, skeptic, like hyper rational people. And then you have the book Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality, which is a Harry Potter fan fiction. And then you have Worm, which is referenced in that. And you have the hit band They Might Be Giants, which is referenced in that. And you have Abel, who's coming in. You have the hit game, Ender's Game. And then you have Worm, and then you have a death cult in 2022. It's crazy. And it's just this one person who's like, I guess, gone off the deep end and become terrified of AI taking over the world, and I don't know, they've murdered some people. Oh. Minions. Oh, the launchers are being supercharged against me. And so anyway, my mum was like, have you heard about the death cult? And I was like, no, I haven't heard about the death cult. She was like, yeah, it's got all your interests. Harry Potter fan fiction. I don't know what the heck is going on. Oh, will those give me like a fire type bullet bill if I get hit by one? Should we try? Can I have a fire type bullet bill, please? It's a shiny bullet bill. Oh, so long, other bullet bill. This one looks so much better. A Fayretta. Friendship ended with a Fayretta. Now shiny bullet bill's my best friend. Whoa. I should have known it could do that. Okay. That's pretty cool. It's all goes to say, go read Worm, but don't start a death cult. But it is really funny that they've named their death cult after the Simurg, because in the sequel book, there's actually a cult of the Simurg. They're not called the Zizians, they're called the Fallen. But they like dress up in like bird costumes and they ritually murder people, which I presume is what's actually going on in real life. So I guess we're living in the sequel to Worm. It's bringing me like quite a lot of joy, but also there's a lot of death. There's a lot of death, and also like I'm a known Worm enjoyer, so like I'm looking a bit guilty by proxy here. I'm looking like people are gonna be like, "Hey Henry, like remember when you told me that you wanted me to read Worm? Well, you trying to like indoctrinate me into your Zizian death cult?" And I'll say, "No, no, that wasn't the Zizian death cult that I was trying to get you into. I just wanted you to read this funny online book because it's really good and it's free." Um, but alas, you know, some people they don't believe you. Who's like similar to Afe Reta? I can't just name it like Afe Reta 2, can I? That would be unjust. I should give it its own name. So like I should, but I won't because I'm lazy and I can just release the other one, I suppose. I'm not going to use a non-shiny bullet bill when there's a shiny option. Let's do the little switch out, and no one will ever know. Are you better? Relaxed. That's not really better. But it's not exactly worse either, at least I'm not minus attack. I hope I can change natures in this game. I do enjoy changing natures. Hi guy. It's nice to see you. Would you like to read Worm and then join my Zizian death cult? Because I mean you can. I mean start with the book. Try the sequel. If you don't like it, then you can see where you want to go. I wonder how YouTube feels about me just constantly saying Zizian death cult. It's probably none too happy about that. The algorithm's not going to like it. But that's okay. I mean, this is mostly for my own personal reviewing. I'm just presuming I'm talking into the void here and there's no one in the audience. If there is someone in the audience, I'm kind of terrified to know that. Like, I'd rather assume that there's no one here. If it's Caitlin or Jonathan, that's all good. You guys are welcome to be privy to my internal monologue. But if it's anyone else, then it's a bit concerning. So I'll just live in blissful ignorance, shall I? While I grind some XP with my bomb. Man, Worm's good. I designed a whole D&D game about Worm. It was weird. It was quite surreal because I set it like in the real world in my own city. So we were like going to like real locations, and that's kind of concerning because you're like it just feels a bit surreal, like role playing, being a character in your own world. But it was quite fun because we had superpowers, and I did some absolutely insane stuff. I think my players kind of hated me by the end because I kept just a tough puff. That's new and kind of cute. Neutralizing gas, but I don't really need a tough puff. I think my players kind of hated me by the end because I kept just escalating the amount of superpowered nonsense there was, and it's really, I think, if I were to do it over, I think that kind of setting thrives on like knowing your opponents, knowing what their powers do. There's something to be said for mystery, but at a certain point I should have loosened up and let everyone in on the system. Anyway, it was fun, and that had the Smurg in it, although only as a kind of minor character, because Smurg's kind of like way too powerful for, you know, newly anointed superheroes to deal with. You know, My train of thought just died. But I'm pretty impressed with my train of thought for chugging that long, because it was heckin' chugging, and I have been all guns blazing all day. I should mention the draft league. I know I put out like a really detailed draft set of videos about the draft, and then week 1, and then nothing more. I am really struggling to find time. Those draft league videos take an obscene amount of time to make, like way longer than they have any right to. And it was okay last season because I wasn't doing anything. I was just working, and I mean, I wasn't even working. I was just kind of in bed sick, so I could just spend all week on each video. As it stands, I don't have time to make like those 2-hour-long videos. The assets take ages to make. I guess I want to click the button. The videos take ages to edit. So what I'm going to do is, I'm still playing the draft league. It's going really badly. I'm 2-4, which is not enough to qualify. Oh, I see that's going to toggle automatically. That's all good. I'm 2-4, which is bad, but we're here for the entertainment, and the games have been really close and pretty fun. So I can't be too mad. I'm going to put out a big mega video at the end, and it won't be as big or as long as, that's a good reward. I love Snarl. It won't be as good or as crazy as all 8 combined, but it's going to be like 3 or 4 hours long, I think. And I'll just go over it all at once. It's also because from like a watcher perspective, I was really hoping I could give Razor Shell to my Trichopria. From a watching perspective, I feel like the meta with YouTube videos these days is to have them be one full self-contained story. I think some of the best YouTube videos to watch are the like Small Ant videos, where he does some crazy Pokemon challenge or does some crazy Minecraft challenge, and he streamed it for like, 10,000 hours or something, but he cuts it down so tightly into the half-an-hour video. Hey, Apple. That's the kind of content that is incredibly impressive. Now, I'm not going to be that tight, right? I don't. The amount of time it takes to edit down that much content into a watchable amount of story is actually insane. Mecha Koopa. Okay, that could be a steel normal type, perhaps? It's probably a steel type if it's got mecha in the name. We'll find out. It is indeed a steel type. My script. I guess normal because the Koopa Trooper was a mono-normal type, so it would kind of make sense for it to become a Mecha Trooper, or to have a Mecha Koopa Trooper version that was like a steel normal type. But it could just be a steel type. 2. Steel electric. Gryon wants to learn lick. No. Sorry, Gryon. It's worse than all your current moves, so you don't get to lick things. I know it's kind of crushing to be Yoshi and not even be allowed to give things a big lick. Is there anything up here? No. That's okay. Just some flutterflies. Anyway, there'll be a big draft video at some point, probably in a month-ish, maybe 2. I do want to do it justice. Like, the draft league content is fun, but it's not why most people are subscribed. Like, people, neither is this, to be fair. This is also nonsense, but whoa, cat's on the keyboard. Abel, I would prefer you not to be there because you could make anything happen. You can go to your bed. His bed's like behind the computer monitor, so if he wants to get there, he has to go past me. Flame wheel. Is it better than flame charge? Probably. It's more power. The speed boost from flame charge is unlikely to be that relevant, I think, because my speed is so low. Burn chance is good. I mean, I guess I could drop charge. I should probably drop charge and just have both. Might be times when one's more useful than the other when I want the speed. So anyway, watch out for the draft video. I can tell you spoilers, I'm losing, and I may not qualify. But I want to do the whole thing. Like, if I don't qualify for the finals, I'll cover it up to the finals, because we've got to see it all through. And that just sounds like a more satisfying video to watch. Like a Wolfie video where he says, I went to this tournament and here's my run. That's good. Whereas a Wolfie video where it's here's one battle, there's just less of an audience for it. It's kind of an old-fashioned way of doing things. So I'm going to try the pivot. I know it's a bit unsatisfying if you were into the format. And the heck type is this, do you think? Bully. Fighting type. Bullies like to fight, so it's probably a fighting type. And I have a fighting resist, but not a good one. So we'll stay in and click low sweep. Fighting steel, maybe? Like a Lucario? Okay. Defense curl, I do not mind in the slightest. Is there any other video updates? How to use videos? I keep coming up with fun ideas for how to use videos. In theory, I can make them in a day if I just like sit down and not a day when I'm working, but just like a day if I have a day of free time in the weekend or something. I can make a how to use video. I do want to at least like play some games with the Pokemon before I make a video about it, because like I'm relying on the stats and other people's write-ups. Really, I'm just mostly writing and narrating the video, but I don't want to be like spreading obvious misinformation, so I want to do some playtesting to just make sure that I'm not straight up lying about how to use a Pokemon. Ghost Mouse. I wonder what this could be. Surely not a ghost type. Let's try our new Flame Wheel. This just turned into Python kills things. The Python is really good, so it's going to be. Shall I try out this guy, a favorita? We'll go up here first, see what's up here. This kind of has the air of the correct way to go, which is not what I want. I want the incorrect way first. Spiny. Did we figure out what type Spiny was? Wasn't it weak to ground? I feel like it was weak to ground. I feel like it was like a rock steel type. Spikes is kind of annoying, but also completely understandable from something called Spiny. We can sit back while the Fury Swipes slowly go, and then the Sand Tomb slowly goes. I don't think there's any other videos. I'm working on my big retarder video, but I won't say too much about that, because I want that to be a surprise. And because there's this psychological phenomenon that I remember hearing about when I was like 14, 15. I don't know how valid it is, but I remember them saying, if you tell people you're doing something, you will be less likely to keep doing it, whereas if you like keep it secret, you'll more likely to keep doing it. Now, I have told you I'm making the retarder video, but by not telling you what it's about, I don't get the dopamine release of being satisfied with the content, and I only get that release when I'm done, and so the sort of tension will drive me to actually make the video. That's the theory, at least. Don't know how true it is, but I heard it over a decade ago, and I kind of just worked into my normal behaviors without doing too much fact checking. I think I might have to go make some dinner. Well, go have some dinner. Family dinner. Will probably be soon. So we'll end the stream here. It's going to take me weeks to finish this game. I probably don't need to finish this game, though. And it's not like... I have to keep telling myself. It's not like I'm wasting time by just doing a bit of a relax. I'm allowed to just chill out for a bit. That's all good. So, what's happening? Yeah, I will see my audience, such as you are, soon enough.